Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6. We're having a little sing-along. No, we're not. We're just playing the game. So from where I left off, things were actually looking pretty damn good for me. We are in a reasonable economic position, both scientifically. If we take a look there, right, we're at 33 science compared to 70-ish. We're at 61 culture compared to 80-ish. It's only turn 100. We have a pretty reasonable spread of our religion ongoing. I'm starting to finish more and more lavras, which means more and more food coming in the form of shrines, which also means more faith, more production, more all the good stuff is happening. That is the shorthand for how things are going right now. I think the only problem that I'm facing is that Nader Shah has a bit of a negative opinion of me, but the potential for a golden age in the next era is quite high, especially if we can continue to convert cities here to get that +2 era score. That's really, really powerful. We did just unlock civil service, so the potential for an alliance here should not be overlooked. I think I will try to convert Mashhad. Now, this city is not very predominant in Mr. Squiggles, and I got to convert 12 pops over, so I should get that started now. Another city converts in one turn. I will work on Mari later, but I would like to get Persia completely converted, I think. Now, we need to pick our next civic. We have feudalism giving us extra builder charges, and we have civil service giving us access to alliances. I think it would be nice to go for monarchy here. I think this fits nicely into our game plan, so we will. And at some point in the near future, we will want to be building walls. We have finished the watermill in the capital. I think the next step is to go for the amphitheater. I will purchase the amphitheater so that I can place my works of writing in the amphitheater. Boom, boom. That's like getting 2 extra monuments plus the little bit of tourism from that. Then I need to think about, I think I would really like to get audience chamber. I would like to get the Stupa, but I'm better off either faith purchasing that or getting it later. Because I think right now missionaries could actually do a lot of work for my religion, because there are many cities that have not been converted yet. So a few early missionaries could make quite the difference. And I have roughly where I want to settle this city. It's over here in the tundra. I'm going to park you right there. Patiently waiting. Now, Babylon wants a research alliance. I don't think I'm quite ready to make an alliance with somebody yet. I'm not ready to commit, is the reality. I'm not ready to commit to a long-term relationship with an AI because it may be useful for me to declare a war at some point. All right, let's have a look here. We have machinery. We definitely want to unlock medieval walls and Renaissance walls. We are currently in the medieval era, so I think researching in that direction would be okay. We don't really need to embark. So I am going to go ahead and get started on castles. I don't think I need many aqueducts this game. Probably the one in the capital would be worth it. So I may get that after I finish the audience chamber. I'll pick up ancient walls just for the boost, because we are about to get the boost for castles by getting monarchy. Now, we finished the temple in here. And in terms of our government, we have urban planning, serfdom, and scripture, which is good production, faith, and builders. So there could be something to be said of grabbing another Magnus in here, or rather grabbing another builder in here, and then thinking about how we want to develop our economy. We could build Mean Nakshi Temple. The production is very low in here as it currently stands, so I think the builder is the right play first. And I don't think it's worth it to build a Petra. I think I would rather focus on the production. Like, we don't even have the granary, the watermill, or the monument in here. So I think a builder right now, 1 chop, 2 chops, mine, and then a mine here gets this city up to a really high production level, and it'll only take 8 turns for that builder to come out. Zach Harvey is fine. You could probably use a builder as well. Could definitely use a builder over in Common Holder, and almost certainly could use one over here. But I think this is where Magnus is established, so we can make use of this chop. I would probably like to buy this tile if possible. Let's convert Mashhad once again. We have Met and Shan. We do have an envoy in the bank, and we have the influence card plugged in. I think we could work on getting friendship with Nan Madal. I think focusing on that is actually a perfectly reasonable thing to do, and slowly taking away the suzerainty of Nader Shah. Do we have anything that we can sell to the AI for a bit of upfront cash? We could get 280 cash off Nader Shah, which would allow us to purchase the amphitheater here in the near future. So in the city of Zach Harvey, I think I'm going to place the commercial hub, but leave it for now. And I will crack out a quick builder, because there's a couple of tiles here worth improving, right? The truffles, the ivory. Getting those luxuries online means we can sell more of them to the AI. In the city of Emi Castagnier, we do have the monument. We do want to think about where our theater square is going. We don't have particularly good theater square locations as it stands. And if we take a look at the city overlap, I'm pretty sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 2 cities aren't going to get hit by a entertainment complex. So an entertainment complex here with theater squares in between would be fairly efficient, right? This is a pretty efficient configuration for these two cities to take on. So I'm thinking like, I could either go for the early entertainment complex and go for that quickly, or I could force the city to continue to grow by grabbing my watermill and my granary and then just placing the theater square down. And we continue to pump really good food in here. And the more we pump food, the more faith we get, the more production we get, and I think it starts to make the city look a lot more viable. Another option would be to go for a builder and then those things, and the builder would give us production, which would feed the food, and the food would feed the production, and blah, 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 and becomes a nice cycle loop. I think that's a pretty reasonable setup. Okay, so we have unlocked monarchy, as well as chivalry, Gothic architecture, as well as Mont Saint-Michel. It would be nice to get Mont Saint-Michel. It's not super important. I wouldn't call them necessary. I am going to switch to monarchy. It's +3 era score right there. Retainers is a great card to plug in right now. And I would like to keep urban planning for a while. I don't think any of these Great People cards really matter to me. I already generated a ton of Great People points. I don't need Gothic architecture either. I think Limes does make sense here, so we can build walls faster when the time comes. It gives us something flexible that we can build. And then we do a quick switch to Reformed Church later, but it's not something we're going to go for right now. Instead, I think picking up our governor titles here from both guilds and medieval fairs is a nice step forward for us, because we are about to finish the audience chamber, which gives us +2 amenities and +4 housing in cities with governors, which is a nice bit of verticality to our build. Theatre Square completed in Brandon Tate. This is another city that could use a builder. Just try to make sure that I build, what I tend to do is I tend to build builders late, and I'm trying to prioritize building builders sooner, because I think one of the things that I can teach other players is that you need to be making more builders. Like, just straight up, you need to make more builders. Almost certainly in your games. If I could get a city here, it would be so nice, but that might not be entirely possible. All right, let's convert Hagmatana. Hagmatana has converted. That's +2 era score. We'll try to convert Mashad. Mashad has converted. 61 turns. We should probably run a missionary down to the south as well. I'm going to spend my faith on another 2 missionaries if I can. I can only get 1. It's okay. We're up at 137 faith per turn. And the other thing is, by spreading our religion down to Persia, somebody else has to invest in getting rid of our religion, which is nice. And then the other last nice thing about it is that we actually get a tourism bonus against, well, it's not against him, but it's more like our religious tourism doesn't suffer penalties, which is nice. So I want to claim as many luxuries as possible, and I would like to settle one. Yeah, I'd like to claim that silk, but I think settling near the spices, like right here, gets me the spice and the dyes within very close proximity, and leaves room for potential cities to the left, while still being on the edge of that loyalty. We could get a cultural alliance with Babylon, which would allow me to do really disgusting things. But I think what I might do is I might go for that in the next era after I pump out a bunch of settlers. I'm really tempted to step on this tile and see what it is, but it's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. I think I'm relatively happy with Pingala. I will go for a curator though, and he should be situated in the capital, which should get me a little bit of a boost to this. So we always want to be prioritizing getting great work slots in the capital. So if something has great work slots, we should be trying to build it. That includes things like the Bolshoi Theater if we can. This needs to be adjacent to a theater square owned by the city. So I think we could put the Bolshoi Theater right there. Now the other advantage of it is that it gives you 2 randomly chosen free civics. So I think I'd like to get the Bolshoi Theater there. All right, let's convert Mari. It's God's will to spread religion. Sorry that it makes you upset. So we dropped 3 converts into the city of Mari, and the passive pressure that we're generating is crazy. Extra range is honestly so efficient. I'm going to convert Tarsus. It looks like somebody has been converting down here to Shinto, but even so, our pressure outpouring is like super powerful, so I'm not worried about that at the current time. All right, what can I sell? I can sell you some of this, which means I should be able to come in here and purchase myself an amphitheater, which means this great writer can start dropping great works into it. I think it would be good to buy the stupa in here next turn. That +1 amenity would bring us back up to the 3 amenity threshold. Now, it looks like Nader Shah is ready to declare a friendship with me. So I will get that friendship. Let's convert the city of Mari. See if we can convert Tarsus. Boom. Mr. Squiggles has taken over, and then we'll see if we can convert Ray. And Nanmadal should be getting, wow, it's not getting any pressure. That might change next turn, we'll see. So we built the ancient walls in Wesley Clawson. I do think the intelligence agency is a pretty good pick, but it's not very good for a diplomatic game, because you tend to be friends with people and you can't spy on people that you're allied with. So it is one of the better choices here. Grandmaster's Chapel is really handy to be able to spend faith on units, but typically our faith is going to be used to get extra tourism. So I think I will go for the intelligence agency here, and I will faith purchase the stupa to bring the city up to a higher tier. Now the boost to castles has happened, so we'll go for engineering next. It's important to remember that boosted production towards walls is roughly equivalent in tourism to investing in wonders. There's medieval walls, and if you add the diplomatic favor to that, it starts to become quite valuable to invest in walls. I will, however, be going for the temple in here first because we need that growth. The growth acceleration of food from temples and stuff is extremely useful. Our religion is pushing through here, which makes me very, very happy. We're going to settle right here. Boom. +2 era score for the first settlement on There is a slight negative happiness, which is to be expected. Perhaps there wasn't as much land here as I thought there was. Regardless, it did get me access to 2 extra luxuries, which is nice. So we'll go monument, and I'll probably purchase a builder in here when I have the resources. Right. The temple is done. Faith purchase. Let's see. We want that theater square. Production is quite low in the city, unfortunately, and we are breaking one of our only productive tiles, which really doesn't feel good. So what can we do about that to try and preserve a bit of production in here? I mean, we could delay the theater square and go for something different. You know, if I pop a commercial hub on this tile, I think that's actually a fine delay because that mine represents like 30% of the city's production. So to crush it to build a piece of infrastructure would be too scary until I have other tiles. I'm going to go ahead and grab I want to grab Moksha. And I'm going to pop him into the city of Adam Dob because I want those amenities and I want that housing. I do have 2 envoys to spend. I'll put 2 into Nan Madol. That should get me very, very close. Well, I'm basically suzerain of it now. Now, we won't benefit much from Nan Madol. It's more so that it benefits me to prevent other people from benefiting from it. We've converted Babylon, the city of Babylon, to Mr. Squiggles, which makes me happy. And we have, in fact, met Georgia. It's an honor to meet you, which means the loyalty in here will probably get worse. But it'll be fine for now. We will make do. So we finished the builder in Gordon Arbuthnot. I'm going to move to here. I don't know where the theater square should go. Probably on this tile, which means I'm probably going to go for the commercial hub first. I'm going to put it here because this could be a farm triangle over here, whereas this can't be. But I'm probably going to get a second builder in here just so I have some excess build charges to spread around my empire. And I'm probably going to rush the Renaissance walls here. Now, the boost here is to own 2 trebuchets, which requires an aqueduct. So I will probably go for the aqueduct in my capital in the near future. So I tells you what, let's just research all the old techs from the classical era and anything we have boosted. And that should kind of give us time to get other, irons in the fire, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, -22 here. That's actually grim. Because I met Georgia and now their loyalty applies. Whereas before, actually, it was a dumb move to meet Georgia. Now, here's the question. Most of this negative loyalty is coming from Georgia. So if I give her a gift of like some horses, a little bit of this, she should improve her opinion of me next turn. And I might be able to get a delegation and a cultural alliance with her before the city can flip. Otherwise, it's just a waste. And it's not the end of the world, so I mean that I lose that city. It would be nice to keep it. Let's do mutual open borders to try and improve her opinion as well. Yeah, Georgia's the main negative loyalty pressure. There's 20 horses we can sell. Any horse purchasers out there? Yeah, there's a few people willing to buy horses. Looks like the city of Mari has been converted. You're converting to me in 61 turns. I'm hoping I can bring that down to maybe a little bit less than that. A 10 population in Adam Dob has been hit. Let's step in there and cycle our way around. Mr. Squiggles is now dominant. Look at me, I am the dominant now. Okay, we're going to harvest this. Boom. There's another builder we'll send over here. Let's get the watermill, granary, and monument. I wish I was kind of near this tundra because I could have totally settled this huge tundra down here. Sometimes you just spawn in a slightly awkward position. There's another great rider. We are churning out great riders and we're not actually, we're not able to build enough places for them to go. I'm going to buy all those luxuries to keep my people happy. Yeah, let's hard build that amphitheater. We'll step up there, get that mine improved. Convert Babylon. Conversion is going well. We are going to chop here. That will finish these. Though honestly, in my opinion, because old growth forest only applies its bonus appeal to its own tile, it's still worth it in a tourism game that you plan to build national parks in to obliterate all of the forest on the map. I do think mercenaries is worth picking up for the envoy, and then we'll move to diplomatic service for the ability to build spies as well as the chancery. Now, speaking of the chancery, we absolutely need to get the diplomatic quarter down. It's like imperative. It's more important than the intelligence agency, honestly. So we cracked out a builder here, which means we can get these couple of camps online. Let's get the watermill granary. We don't need an aqueduct in here, and then we'll go for that commercial hub. Let's grab Reina and we'll just pop her into... Well, that city flipped independent, sadly. We weren't able to protect it. It's not the end of the world. It didn't work out, right? So we're going to have to change our plan slightly. We made a gamble, and sometimes a gamble just doesn't pay off. And that's part of taking a risk. Sometimes you just have to accept that you don't get what you want. Let's chop here to finish this. That'll overflow through to the granary, and then that should overflow through to the monument. That's what it was. And you're going to pop a little mine right there. Lovely. 2 production. We should be getting pretty close to industrialization as well. We just lost 2 of our scout units. Feels bad, man. We can take suzerainty of Nan Madol, though, which should represent a small boost in culture per turn. But the more important part is we took it away from Persia. So he's no longer getting it, right? There's the camp boosted, which means more luxuries to sell to the AI. Boom. Pop a little mine there. I'm going to buy this tile. There is potential of settling the Jade and here. And there could be some national parks in and around this area. National park here, national park here, national park in there. There's a few spots that it would make sense. All right, let's chop here. That'll get us that amphitheater 5 turns sooner, which means a place to put those great works 5 turns sooner. Right, in Emmy Castagnier, we're going to go for the theater square. And I'm going to hold on to my envoys. Now that I have control of Nan Madol, I'm going to save them for any religious city-states that I find. There is something to be said for the lack of exploration that I have in the world right now. I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say annoyed by it. It's more so it just doesn't feel great. So I'm going to go through and get open borders with everyone because I am starting to now generate a decent amount of tourism. And you do get a 25% bonus to your tourism with people you have open borders to. So I think that is a reasonable set of moves, is to make sure I just have them with basically everyone on the map. I like to do mutual open borders. I don't know if I don't think it really matters, to be honest with you. I don't think it changes much. It is just nice to do for me, in my opinion. So I'm probably getting a tourist. I'll start getting tourists soon. There is one player that I haven't met, and at some point in the near future, it would be a good idea for me to recruit some scout units. And when I say scout units, I probably mean horsemen. I'm going to save my chop here on this monument because it doesn't seem worth it for me. I do think a little farm triangle in here could be the crack for this city to give it that little bit of extra growth. I'm going to wait one more turn in this city before I chop. So I will just put a couple turns into the ancient walls. I've got a monument going up in here in Gordon Abbotnot. And I wanted to get the theatre square, and I want to put the theatre square right here. I want to make sure it's owned by the right city, so swap it to there. Because sometimes your capital city, if its borders grow too quickly, it can eat up tiles that it can't actually work. If I go 1, 2, 3, it can't actually work this tile, so I'll take that into Zach Harvey. And there could be a nice little farm triangle here if we wanted it. Equally, it could probably fit as a national park in the area. National park here, national park here. We'll figure it all out. Actually, now that I've said that out loud, I think I am going to institute that long term. I'm going to put a designation of a national park on these 4 tiles. Then I'm happy to put a theatre square here. Then on these 4 tiles, I would also like a national park. It's time that we started planning this out. And the nice thing is that the theatre square actually acts like a forest. It gives +1 appeal to adjacent tiles. So I'm going to do a pre-chop. I'm going to chop here and take that 10-turn theatre square down to a 5-turn theatre square, which is quite a bit faster. Kick in a little bit sooner. We do have our commercial hub over here in Adam Daub, so we'll go ahead and get to work on the watermill and the market. I think I'll go market first. Not only does this give me gold, it'll give me an extra trade route, and I could send that trade route internally, which the city is already doing, to get that little bit of extra production. I wonder, are there any tiles I can steal to give the city production? No, we really just need to wait for these tiles to be claimed over here on the left. It'll take a bit of time. It will happen eventually, but it will take some time. Now, there is a really nice national park that goes across this volcano, which somehow has not managed to erupt this entire game. And only now that I have said that out loud will it start erupting. Guarantee it. No national park here, no national park here. We could maybe square off some national parks up in and around this area. We're going to play around with that maybe later. I think I'm going to chop the commercial hub first to get that in 3 turns, finish the watermill, and then finish the granary. Nice, we just unlocked buttresses, giving us access to the dam. I don't have a place that I really want to build a dam, so it doesn't seem necessary to me. We may be able to take the city of Dermuti from a loyalty perspective. I think I will. I think I would hopefully take that city. That'd be the goal. Now, a couple of choices up here in the north. I could get the aqueduct, which would give +1 adjacency to both of these districts. It would crush one of the few productive tiles in here, but it would give the city fresh water, allowing it to grow a significant amount more. It does have a decent amount of surplus food, so I think that is what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to put a lumber mill on here rather than chop it. Because the city has so few productive tiles, I think a lumber mill makes more sense in the short and long term, whereas normally the long term is to chop. The short term is to chop, and then the long term is to replant and rebuild. Let's make friends with Hammurabi again. Send him a delegation. We will make a deal. I think I have a few spare luxuries to sell. I'll sell them to the highest bidder. I'll buy salt as well. We'll claim another great writer, and we just got a great sculptor, which means we should probably get our art museums going. So after diplomatic service, we'll get working on those art museums. If I were to settle here, which is a distinct possibility, there are quite a few potential national parks near this location. If I could secure this, which I think to me means that I want to secure this as soon as possible. How much would it cost me to gold purchase a settler? 1,000 gold. So if I could scrounge together 1,000 gold right now, I mean, we're close. We're very, very close. We can do it next turn. We can buy the builder and send it over here to get this claimed. And I think that is actually worthwhile doing. Settler pumped out of Adam Dobb. We got the temple in Cameron Holder. Let's get the watermill and the granary so that we can force the city to continue to grow. You have another chop. Let's chop to finish the theatre square. We'll overflow into the amphitheatre. We're going to chop. Not yet. We'll chop through. Well, no, we'll finish this. We'll chop through the market, I think is what we'll do. And then we should be able to finish all this relatively quickly. We're making fantastic progress. Another camp right here, which means another luxury sold for cash. You're up over 100 gold per turn, which is starting to look really, really nice. We definitely need a little bit more era score. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to get it. It'll probably be researching things from the next era. So let's finish stirrups and get to work on siege tactics. Well, let's finish stirrups, military engineering, then get to work on siege tactics. If we could crack out a pair of catapults really quick, that could then be upgraded into trebuchets, which would boost siege tactics. That seems like a useful thing to do. I tell you what, efficiently navigating the tech tree to maximize your science per turn and also the timings of your things is quite a task. A lot of my gold should be going towards getting the consulate and the chancery up, because that's going to give me a huge boost to my envoys. So selling things now is kind of pushing in that direction. Nothing to sell. Nobody wants to buy anything. Let's grab Liang and we'll pop her into Brandon Tate. I think that's a good place to get extra amenities and stuff. There is a potential national park here, particularly if we can get the Eiffel Tower. And that'll be in conjunction with a couple of ski resorts. So the tourism potential is starting to come online for this empire. Right. Theatre Square completed in Emmy Castagnier. Let's get the amphitheatre. Amphitheatre is done in this city, which means that we can finally make use of the great riders, and we're up to a very, very healthy 28 base tourism, 44 tourism in total. Yeah, we're getting very, very close to yoinking some tourists from some of these characters now. We kind of got a World Congress that I don't really care about. I did win it, but like it's not important. Now, we do have a couple of trade routes available. We have a ton of fate saved up, so we can start purchasing stupas if we want, and there's no reason not. Well, there's a couple of reasons not to purchase them. But there's no reason to not have them. And I'm not doing anything else with my faith right now. I mean, I would just be banking this faith for later. And these will technically give me more faith over the course of the game. Maybe not more than what they will earn, because it'll take like 100 and something turns for them to return that investment. But at the very least, it's a little bit of faith right now. And if I do find a faith-based city-state, that can actually lower the return of investment time by half for every city-state that I get, roughly speaking. Or it doubles the rate of return, would be a more accurate way to phrase that. So in Adam Dobb, I'm going to get the watermill, and then I will get to work on this theatre square. I think it's about time. We have the trade routes and stuff like that. We have our first trebuchet. I'm going to put that on fortify nearby. I also got my first spy, and it'd be good to steal cash. Nobody has any great works to steal, nor does anyone have any cash to steal. So a good place to put them could be in Persia to try and just level up a spy. All right, so we need to buy some pretty key tiles here. I need to buy this tile and this tile. This secures 2 national parks for us, basically into the future. Then the other tile that I need to take is this mountain from Geneva. So this is 2 potential national parks secured for Tula. Should totally get a trader in there too. But I tell you what, we've made really, really damn good progress. This episode, we made our very first tourist But we're 2 turns from making our first tourists, and we're about to hit a pretty hard stride towards conservation. And once we hit conservation, we get our walls up, our tourism should explode in the next episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!